I have a 20-minute quickie workout that is great for all levels and all machines. We are going to stay in the front for most of it. We do start off in the back for that core. If you prefer to start with your core in the front, you'll do the exact same things in the front. No big deal. So let's get ready to have some fun. We're starting off on that light spring. If you are starting in the back, I recommend that white spring. If you're looking for more of a challenge in the back, go for that black spring. If you are in the front, it's going to be the reverse. The white spring is going to be more of that challenge. The black will give you more support. Let's get started. We're going to be starting in your giant wheelbarrow. Knees on your back platform, hands on your carriage. I'll see you there. All right, so we're going to start today in the back. You're going to pull that carriage with you with your knees on that back platform. Hands are coming out onto that carriage. We're going to send our body out into that modified plank. I want you to drop those shoulders down away from those ears, relax those shins, soft bend in those elbows, and engage that core. Chin is off our chest. And we're taking in that inhale, let out that exhale. We're going to take this into that wheelbarrow in 3, 2, and 1. Let's start to slowly extend that carriage out towards that front platform. And then slowly come back in. As that carriage is coming in, we're going to stop before it comes under the shoulders. We want to maintain this constant, continuous tension here the whole time. So keeping the shoulders down, pressing the carriage out, and slowly bringing it back in. Now notice the hips are not moving right here. My shoulders are rolling down away from those ears. I'm engaging not just the core right now, that you should be feeling your arms, your shoulders. Yes, that is a good thing. We are working lots of things in this movement. We're going to pull this carriage in and hold it just slightly in front of those shoulders coming up. We've got 10 seconds here. This is your chance. Maybe you're going to send it out 1 inch further. Maybe you're going to go a little slower right here. Let's pull it in and hold on that next one in 3, in 2, and 1. Let's freeze it right here. Relax those shins, relax those shoulders. From there, we're going to bend those elbows, lower down slowly into that push-up. Without moving that carriage, we press back up. Control it here. This is a short workout today. We're going to maximize what we can get in the time we've got. So we want to engage as many muscle groups as we can in each movement. We're bending those elbows wide. We're keeping that core nice and tight. You've got it right here. We're going to be bringing those forearms down onto that carriage in 3, in 2, and 1. Let's bring those forearms down onto that carriage. Hold it here. From this position, we're going to now lift the hips, slowly bringing that carriage in, round through that spine, turning this now into that crunch. Please make sure those hips are stopping right over those knees. We don't want to see them going over those heels. That's where you're going to lose tension. And then we slowly take it back out into that modified plank. So notice right now, the shoulders should be staying over the elbows the whole time. As that carriage is coming in, you're looking back through those arms towards those knees. That's going to get you deeper into the core. It's going to help with the continuation of the spine, so you're never pinching that neck at all. Lots of good things happen when we pay attention to that form in this move. We're going to get ready to hold this at the top, coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's hold it at the top right here, looking back through those knees, and a little squeeze. In 1 and out 1. Tiny little pulses right here. We've got this. Keep it going. We're going to ride this to the front. We've got a catfish on deck in 5. Keep pulsing. It's 4. You've got 3, 2, and 1. Ride that carriage to the front. Hands hit the high bars. Same spring. Heels go high. Back is flat, right in line with those shoulders. Shoulders are behind the wrists. You're going to press that carriage out just slightly beyond the hips. And then you're going to scoop that core to pull those knees right back under that hip line. So right here, the range of motion is not very big. That is a big misconception in this move. Most people think it's got to be a big range of motion. That is not, in fact, the case. Make it small to make it more effective. We're going to be here for about 10 seconds, not very long. We're going to be holding those knees under, coming up in 8. Relax those shoulders. 7. Keep breathing for 6. You've got 5. It's 4. Hold it in 3. Bring those knees under your hips in 2. And 1. Knees are under your hips. We're holding right here. We're going to pulse in 3. Scoop that core tighter in 2. and one. Let's go a little squeeze. In one, out one. There you go. In and out. We're going to hold those knees in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold those knees right here. Now, don't move the legs. I want you to hinge away from the shoulders and then come back in. So I want you to feel the stabilization in that core and feel those lats, the triceps as you press yourself out and pull yourself back in. Beautiful. We're going to go standing inner thighs right after this. You've got 10 seconds here. Keep going. Keep breathing. Go a little slower. You've got your last 5. Step that right foot forward in 3, 2, and 1. Right foot's forward, left foot's out on that carriage. We stack those shoulders over those hips, core's in tight, and we're pressing that carriage out and away. Now from here, I want to see if you can bring those arms out to that T and hold them at that T position today. As that carriage is coming in, you're leaving that gap between the carriage and platform. That is how you're going to maintain that constant continuous tension the whole time. We're always looking to keep our muscles under tension throughout this workout. It's all about a concept called time under tension. And that's taken from a bodybuilding concept actually, which is what Lagree is all about. Fun fact. So as you're sending that carriage out, send out a little further. Let's leave that comfort zone. You know this is a short workout today, so we're going to not take that easy route today. I want you to do something that makes you feel a little uncomfortable, right? That's where we start getting stronger. That's where we're going to increase that strength for our bodies. So take it out a little further than you're used to, or maybe you're going to move that foot on that carriage right now. Take it a little further out. Let's do something together right now that makes us all feel a little more challenged, shall we say. We're going to take this out for a hold at the end. Coming up, it's going to be a hold for those legs. We're going to circle those arms. You've got 8 seconds here. Tuck those hips under, engage the core. Feel like you're growing taller right now through the crown of that head. Getting ready for this hold in 3, 2, and 1. Let's hold it wherever you feel like a challenge. If it's too much, you bring it in an inch, but keep holding. From here, let's circle those arms. Little small circles up and around, distracting you from that hold in those legs. We're going to switch directions with those arms in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go other way with those arms. Yes, so good. We've got this. We're coming to a heavy spring, one heavy, one light. We're going platform spider kick. So you're going to be on at least one heavy, one light spring in 3, 2, 1. Bring it in. Drop it down to that carriage. We're going right leg. So left knee's on the carriage. Right heel comes to the inner edge of that platform. Hands are stacked out in front of you. We're pressing out and away through that right heel. And then we're going to slowly resist this carriage back in. Now notice right now, my left knee is directly under this hip. My right knee and toes are slightly turned up to the ceiling. Now, if this does not feel challenging enough for you, I want you to bring this left knee a little closer to the front edge of that carriage. Even on the micro, there's always room to move around in this position. The slower you are pushing away with this right leg, the shakier it's going to start to feel. That's what I want you to feel right now in this position. That nice, slow, controlled movement brings on all that intense shaking in the body. So soft bend in those elbows. Think about having that back nice and flat. You shouldn't look like your head is going to fall into that floor right now. We want a nice neutral spine to keep that core engaged, not sinking into that left hip. You want to make sure we're focusing on that right leg. We're going to take this out for a hold coming up. You've got about 10 seconds here. Check in on that form. Soft bend in those elbows. Relax those shoulders. We're holding this carriage out in 5. You've got 4. It's 3, 2, and 1. Let's send it halfway out. You're holding it here. Hold and breathe for 3. It's 2 and 1. Let's go. Little pulse. Out 1, in 1. You've got it right here. We're going second round of full range coming up. You're there in 5, 4, all the way to the top in 3, 2, 1. Push it all the way out to the top, nice and steady, and come in slower for 4. You've got this. 3. Breathe it out for 2 and 1. We're almost there. Keep going. Keep going. Hang in there. We are going to hold at the top to wrap this one up. Almost done with this full range. This is your chance to really slow down this pace. Embrace those shakes right now. That's what I want you to find in this movement. My leg shakes every time I do this move, and that is probably why I love it so much, because I get that instant gratification that all this hard work is actually, in fact, working. Let's hold it out at the top together in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's hold it at the top right here. For 3, we're going to pulse it in 2, 1. Let's go. Little squeeze up, little press up right here. We're going to step behind us onto the floor after this. The right foot's going to be on that floor. Your left heel is going into the back corner of your carriage. You've got a spider lunge facing the front in 3, in 2, and 1. Let's bring it in. Your right foot steps down to the floor. Take this left heel, place it in the back pocket so that your knee and toes are up to the ceiling. If you have those high bars, you're going to push away from them. We're dropping those hips down. Anchor that right heel heavy on that floor. Square those hips off ahead of you. You're pushing the carriage out with the left leg, but this is a simple distraction for this right leg that's in an isometric hold. So right now we're making sure this right knee is directly aligned over that ankle. Your core's in tight. You're looking slightly ahead. You do not have to have your hands on those handlebars. Obviously, if you don't have handlebars, you're not doing that anyways. It might feel a little too much. So if that's the case, you're going to come a little forward in that situation. Either way, we're trying to stay down as low as we can and then moving this left leg as slow as possible. This is a great movement to do in classes where we're short on time because you're getting more bang for your buck. Right now, our main focus is this right leg that's in the isometric hold, but your left leg is getting some work too. That's a good thing, right? So really embrace the control that's happening with that left leg, knowing it's getting a little warm up here as we're going to get transition into it next. And this right leg is feeling that burn. It wants to stand up, but I encourage you not to stand up yet. We're going to finish it off with a little pulse. This is the only other thing you have for this right leg, so let's make it count right now. We're going to be holding this carriage halfway out in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's hold it halfway out right there. Hold it for 3. We're going to pulse up and down in 2, and 1. Little dips. Up 1, down 1. If you can, take those hands off. Feel that difference. The amount of intensity that is required to stabilize right now with that carriage not moving is crazy. We're going to be on that carriage. Right knee's on the carriage. Left foot's coming to this platform. Spider kick, platform addition in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Left leg. So we're dropping the right knee down. Left heel comes onto the inner edge of that platform, and we're keeping that back nice and flat. Your hands are out in front of you on this side of that carriage. Pressing slowly. Make sure you have that left knee and toes angled slightly up, always in the same direction here. And we're not dropping the head. We're not rounding that spine. Remember, we want to keep that core engaged. You're going to get more out of this movement when we check in on that form. Also, things to think about, make sure this right hip and knee stay aligned. That means you're not shifting your weight into that right hip. That's not going to feel good on that hip, right? So we're slowly coming in with control, stopping before that carriage closes each time, and then you're going to slowly push out and away. You've got the 2 holds on this one. You got one more thing for that left leg. We're going to get a little upper body and obliques at the very end, and you'll be out of here. It's a quick class. Doesn't mean we're going to rush these moves. It just means you'll be over and done before you know it. So let's slow it all down right here. Maximize that intensity. No momentum whatsoever. You know it's our enemy in Lagree, that momentum. So let's not let it find its way into this workout today. We're going to hold it halfway out in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's find that challenge point about halfway out where it feels like a struggle to hold it there. That's where I want you to keep it. For 5, we're going to pulse in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Little squeeze. Out 1, in 1. Tiny. It's like barely moving at all. You're here for your final 5. We're going back to that second round of full range. In 3, go to the top first. In 2, and 1, we press it all the way out to the top, and then you're going to slowly come in for that 4. Relax those shoulders, soften in those elbows. 3, controlling it down for 2, not all the way. 1, and then back out. Let's go. You got one more round of full range right here, and then we're going to hold at the top to wrap it all up. Slow and steady is the name of the game right now. You've only got one move left for this left leg. Keep squeezing those glutes as you press out and feel that slow resistance in each time. Chin is off that chest. We're gonna hold it all the way out in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's press it out. Hold it there for 5. You pulse it out in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Little squeeze out. Little squeezes right here. We got this. We're looking good. Keep it going. You got 8. We're on the floor in 7, 6, spider lunge in 5. Face the front in 4. Step behind you in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Left foot hits the floor. Right heel's coming in that back pocket across from you in the back corner of that carriage. We drop the hips low. Double check that this left knee is over that ankle. That's where you want it to stay. You're going to slowly start to press that carriage out and away with that right leg, and then you bend that right knee to come in. Now right here, those hips have the tendency to want to open out. I recommend trying to keep them squared off here to the front. If this is too heavy, you take a little hop forward. We are hinging forward here. We take the hinge forward in these heavy pressing lunges because this is going to allow that knee to stay over the ankle and your hips to go back. That doesn't mean we're rounding forward here. It just means you're keeping that spine neutral, cores engaged the whole time. That's what we're looking for. Pressing heavy through that heel, squeezing those glutes, and slowing down that right leg even more to intensify the isometric hold that's happening in this left leg. So even though that right leg is getting some work right now, we're still focusing on that left leg. That left leg, those muscles want to get length back in them, but we're forcing them to stay in that position, which makes them break down and get stronger. That's the point of an isometric hold. So let's really try to stay with it right now. You're almost there. We're going to finish this out with a pulse. We're going to hold this carriage halfway back, coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's send it halfway back. Hold it there for 3. We're going to pulse this leg up and down in 2, and 1. Little dips down and up. Tiny little dips right here. You can take those hands off the bar. Feel that difference. We're going to be going back to 1 light spring. Coming up, you're going to take off that heavy, drop it back to 1 light spring in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in. 1 light spring. You're going to be back on that carriage. We're going into twisted cobra. Hands are on your front platform. Right knee down. We're hitting this right oblique first. So I want you to stack your left knee on top of that right one. Shoulders square off to the front. The carriage is going to move because you're going to start to slowly bend those elbows, letting that carriage move away from you as you're lowering down towards that platform. Don't come all the way down, and then press through those palms. Coming up, squeeze those triceps. Feel that oblique right now as you stay in this twisted position. So we're lowering down, shoulders stay down away from those ears, bending at the elbow. Elbows come under the shoulders the whole time, and then you press through the palms. If this is too intense, you don't have to go all the way down. Maybe you're only going to bend those elbows an inch or so. We're not here for long. You're almost done with this workout today. Let's maximize what we can do right now in it. Beautiful. Keep going. Keep breathing. We're going to unstack those knees. We're going to center out that body coming up next in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Unstack those knees. Come into a tabletop position here. From there, I want you to go into essentially a bird dog. So you're going to extend 1 arm, 1 leg, set it down. Alternate. The slower you go, the shakier it's going to feel. This requires so much stability here. It looks like nothing, but when you're on that 1 light spring on these machines and that carriage wants to slip away on you, you're like, oh, okay, this is a little spicier than I thought, right? Not here for long, just a quick transition before we get back into that twisted cobra for the opposite side. Give me your last 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Palms stay down, left knee down, right knee stacks on top. Twist those hips to the right side of your space and get right into it. Bending those elbows to slide that carriage away on you. And then pressing through those palms, coming up, squeezing those triceps like crazy. Watch those hips right here. Make sure they're not sitting back on your heels. You want to keep those hips pushing towards that right side of your space. Beautiful. This is it. You got one final move to go on this one, and we're out of here. Keep going nice and slow to the bottom. Remember, if it becomes too much, you limit your range of motion. We're going to come up to our hands and our toes. You're going to hold out a high plank after this. Give me your last 10 seconds right here. Hang on. We got this. We're coming up to the high plank in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. High plank hold. Hands on that platform, toes on that carriage. Soft bend in those elbows. Push back through those heels. You're holding, you're breathing. We're going to take it into a push-up if you can in 3. Hold that plank if you can't in 2 and 1. So you're going to bend those elbows, lower that chest down, press it up. Last part here. Remember, if the push-up is too much, you just hold. You can also do push-ups on your knees. You've got your last 10 seconds right here. Give it everything you've got. Do something that's going to make you proud to go about the rest of your day. It's your final 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's bring that last one in. Close that carriage, and you guys are all done. Thanks for joining me today.